Om Shanti. Today is Tuesday, the 22nd of October 2024. On this Tuesday morning, let us listen to the Sakar Murli from our beloved Bap Dada. Bap Dada Madhuban. Essence. Sweet children, this knowledge that the Father teaches you has nothing to do with occult power. A magic mantra doesn't work for studying. So, the essence on this Tuesday morning through Baba says that, sweet children, this knowledge that the Father teaches you has nothing to do with occult power. A magic mantra doesn't work for studying. Today's question: why were the deities said to be wise whereas human beings are not? In answer, Baba says, because the deities were full of all virtues, whereas human beings have no virtues. It is because the deities were wise that people worship them. Their batteries were charged, and this is why they were said to be worth a pound. When their batteries became discharged, they are only worth a penny, and they would be called senseless. Om Shanti. The Father has explained to you children that this is a place of study, that is a pathshala. This is a study. You attain that status, that is the deity status, through this study. This should be considered to be a school or university. Baba says people come here from far away to study. What do they come here to study? They have that aim and objective in their intellects. So when people come here to study, they have the aim and objective in their intellects. We come here to study, and the one teaching us is called the teacher. The versions of God is the Gita. There is nothing else. The Gita is the book of the one who teaches, but he doesn't actually read a book. So what is Baba saying? The Gita is the book of the one who teaches, but he actually doesn't read a book. He doesn't hold a Gita in his hand. These are the versions of God. Human beings cannot be called God. God is one, the highest on high. The incorporeal world, the subtle region, and the corporeal world are the whole universe. So, what is Baba telling us? The incorporeal world, the subtle world, and the corporeal world are the whole universe. The play is not performed in the incorporeal world or the subtle region. It is acted out here, meaning in the corporeal world. The cycle of 84 births is also here. This is called the play of the cycle of 84. This is a predestined play. These matters have to be understood because you are receiving the directions of God, the highest on high. There is nothing else. Only the one is called the one with all powers. So Baba says only the one is called the one with all powers, the world almighty authority. He himself explains the meaning of the word authority. People do not understand this because all of them are Tamo Pradhan. This is called the Iron Age. It is not that it is the Iron Age for some, the Golden Age for some, and the Silver Age for others. No. So what does Baba clarify? It is not that it is the Iron Age for some, the Golden Age for some, and the Silver Age for others. No. Since it is now hell, human beings can't say that this is heaven for them just because they have a lot of wealth and property. That is not possible. So let us hear the last few lines again. Baba says the incorporeal world, the subtle region, and the corporeal world are the whole universe. The play is not performed in the incorporeal world or the subtle region. It is acted out here. The cycle of 84 births is also here. This is called the play of the cycle of 84. So what is this play called? The play of the cycle of 84. This is a predestined play. These matters have to be understood because you are receiving the directions of God, the highest on high. There is nothing else. Baba says only the one is called the one with all powers, the world almighty authority. He himself explains the meaning of the word authority. People do not understand this because all of them are Tamo Pradhan. This is called the Iron Age. Baba says it is not that it is the Iron Age for some, the Golden Age for some, and the Silver Age for others. No. Since it is now hell, human beings can't say that this is heaven for them just because they have a lot of wealth and property. That is not possible. Baba says this play is predestined. The Golden Age is now in the past. It cannot exist at this time. All of these matters have to be understood. The Father sits here and explains all of these things. It used to be their kingdom in the Golden Age. The people of Bharat of that time are called Golden Aged. Now they would surely be called Iron Aged. When they were Golden Aged, it was called heaven. Therefore, Baba says, when they were Golden Aged, that was called heaven. It isn't that hell would also be called heaven. People have their own diktats. When they have the happiness of wealth, they consider themselves to be in heaven. I have a lot of wealth, and so I am in heaven. However, reasoning says that that is not possible. This is hell. Even though someone may have 1 to 2 million, this world is diseased. The Golden Age, Baba says, the Golden Age is called the world that is free from disease. It is the same world. In the Golden Age, it is called the Yogi world, whereas in the Iron Age, it is called the Bhogi world, meaning those who indulge in sensual pleasures. So, what is Baba telling us? Although it is the same world, in the Golden Age, it is called the Yogi world, whereas in the Iron Age, it is called the Bhogi world, meaning those who indulge in sensual pleasures. So, the indulgence in sensual pleasures makes it a Bhogi world instead of a Yogi world. There, meaning in the Golden Age, they are Yogi because there are no vices there. So, this is a school and there is no question of having power. So, Baba says this is a school and so there is no question of having power. Would a teacher show his power? Baba is asking us. You have the aim and objective of becoming so and so. Through this study, you change from human beings into deities. This is not a matter of a magic mantra or occult power. This is a school. So, what is the essence of today's Murli? We started by saying that, sweet children, this knowledge that the Father teaches you has nothing to do with occult power. A magic mantra doesn't work for studying. So, therefore, Baba says this is a school and there is no question of having power. Would a teacher show his power? You have the aim and objective of becoming so and so. Through this study, you change from human beings into deities. This is not a matter of a magic mantra or occult power. This is a school. Is there anything to do with occult power in a school? Baba asks. They study and become doctors or barristers. Lakshmi and Narayan too were human beings, but they were pure. This is why they are called deities. So, what is the difference? Therefore, Baba says Lakshmi and Narayan too were human beings, but they were pure. This is why they are called deities. You definitely have to become pure. Baba says you definitely do have to become pure. This is an impure old world. People think that it takes hundreds of thousands of years for the world to become old. Only after the Iron Age will the Golden Age come. So it is very clear that it is only after the Iron Age that the Golden Age will come. You are now at the Confluence Age. Baba says no one knows about this Confluence Age. They have shown the Golden Age to be hundreds of thousands of years. The Father comes and explains these things. He is called the Supreme Soul. So, Baba is called the Supreme Soul. The Father of Souls is called Baba. He doesn't have any other name. Baba's name is Shiva. People also go to Shiva temples. Only the Supreme Soul, Shiva, is called the Incorporeal One. He doesn't have a human body. You souls come here to play your parts. So why do we come here? We souls come here to play our parts, and this is why you receive human bodies. So Baba tells us that since we come here to play our parts, we receive human bodies. He is Shiva and you are Saligrams. So Baba is Shiva and we are the Saligrams. People worship Shiva and the Saligrams because they have been and gone in the living form. So whom are we actually worshipping? We are worshipping ourselves, because Baba says people worship Shiva and the Saligrams because they have been and gone in the living form. They must have done something before they departed. This is why they are very well known and worshipped. No one knows about their previous birth. They are praised in this birth. People worship the deities. In this birth, many have become leaders too. Stamps are produced of the very good sages and holy men who have been and gone to make them famous. Therefore, Baba is giving us a Lokik example of how we remember people who are famous. Baba says, stamps are produced of the very good sages and holy men who have been and gone to make them famous. Whose name would be remembered as the greatest here? Baba asks, who is the greatest of all here? It is God alone who is the highest on high. He is the incorporeal and his praise is completely separate. So, Shiv Baba is the incorporeal and his praise is completely separate. Baba says the praise of the deities is separate from that of human beings. Human beings cannot be called deities. The deities had all the virtues. Lakshmi and Narayan have been and gone. They were the pure masters of the world and they are worshipped because pure ones are worthy of worship. Here also in Laukik, like somebody who is becoming very famous or who is very good, we say that he is worthy of worship. So Baba says they were the pure masters of the world. The deities had all the virtues and they are worshipped because pure ones are worthy of worship. Those who are impure cannot be said to be worthy of worship. Impure ones always worship the pure ones. Baba says when a Kumari is pure, she is worshipped. But when she becomes impure, she has to bow down at everyone's feet. At this time, all are impure, whereas everyone in the golden age was pure. So, Baba says at this time, all are impure, whereas everyone in the golden age was pure. That was a pure world, and the iron age is an impure world. This is why they call out to the Father. They call out to the purifier Father. They do not call out to him when they are pure. The Father himself says, no one remembers me at the time of happiness. This refers to Bharat alone. So, Shiv Baba says that no one remembers me at the time of happiness. This refers to Bharat alone. The Father only comes in Bharat. Bharat has become impure at this time. It is Bharat that was pure. If you want to see the pure deities, you can go to the temples and see them there. All of the deities were pure and the heads, that is, the main ones of them are shown in the temples. So Baba says all of the deities were pure and the heads, that is, the main ones among them, are shown in the temples. In the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan, all were pure. As were the king and queen, so were the subjects. So Baba says in the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan, all were pure. And as were the king and queen, so are the subjects. At this time, all are impure. Everyone continues to call out, O purifier, come. Sannyasis would never accept Sri Krishna to be God or Brahm. They believe God to be incorporeal. So, sannyasis believe God to be incorporeal. His image is worshipped as that of the incorporeal. His accurate name is Shiva. When you souls come here and adopt bodies, you are given names. Souls are imperishable, whereas bodies are perishable. So, souls are imperishable, whereas bodies are perishable. Souls shed bodies and take others. There have to be 84 births. There cannot be 8.4 million births. So, Baba says, souls shed bodies and take others. There have to be 84 births. There cannot be 8.4 million births. The father explains. This world was new and righteous in the golden age, and the same world then became unrighteous. So the world is the same. Baba says this world was new and righteous in the golden age, and this same world then became unrighteous. This is a land of truth where everyone speaks the truth. Bharat is called a land of truth. This land of falsehood then becomes a land of truth. Only the true Father comes and creates this land of truth. So Baba says, this land of falsehood, that is Bharat, then becomes a land of truth. And only the true Father comes and creates that land of truth. He is called the true Emperor, the truth. This is a land of falsehood. Whatever people say is false. Deities have sensible intellects and human beings worship them. So, since the deities have sensible intellects, human beings worship them. It is said, wise and senseless. The Father tells you, who makes you wise and who then makes you senseless. So Baba makes us wise and Ravan makes us senseless. It is the Father who makes you wise and full of all virtues. He himself comes and gives you his own introduction. Just as you are souls and you adopt bodies here to play your parts, so I too enter this one just once. So Shiv Baba is telling us about entering Brahma Baba's body just once. You know that he is the only one. He alone is called the Almighty Authority. No human being can be called the Almighty Authority. Even Lakshmi and Narayan cannot be called that, because there is also the one who gives them power. Impure human beings cannot have power. The power that souls have gradually becomes degraded. That is, the Sato-Pradhan power that souls had then became Tamo-Pradhan power. Similarly, a motor car comes to a standstill when there is no petrol in it. This battery does not become discharged again and again. So which one? Shiv Baba. He talks about himself. He says this battery does not become discharged again and again. It has been given its full time. At the end of the Iron Age, the battery becomes old. The Sato-Pradhan masters of the world lost their power because they became Tamo-Pradhan. They had no power left. They became worth not a penny. When there was the deity religion in Bharat, they were worth a pound. It is said that religion is might. There is power in the deity religion. They were the masters of the world. What power did they have? So Baba says religion is might, there is power in the deity religion, and they were the masters of the world. What power did they have? They didn't have the power to fight, etc. They received power from the Father, the Almighty Authority. What is power? Baba asks us. What is power? The Father explains, sweetest children, you souls were Sato Pradhan and are now Tamo Pradhan. Instead of becoming the masters of the world, you have become the slaves of the world. The Father explains, Ravan, the 5 vices, snatched away all of your strength. This is why the people of Bharat have become poverty-stricken. Do not think that scientists have a lot of power. That is not power. This is spiritual power that you receive by having yoga with the Almighty Authority Father. So Baba is telling us that the scientists which have power is not actually power. Baba says, do not think that the scientists have a lot of power. That is not power. This is spiritual power that you receive by having yoga with the Almighty Authority Father. It is as though a war is taking place between science and silence at this time. So what is taking place at this time? A war between science and silence. You go into silence and you receive power through that. By receiving the power of silence, you go into the world of silence. You remember the Father and you detach yourselves from your bodies. So what do? Baba says you remember the Father and you detach yourselves from your bodies. On the path of devotion, you beat your heads a great deal in order to go to God. However, because of calling Him omnipresent, you couldn't find the path. You became Tamo Pradhan. So what did we do on the path of devotion? We beat our heads a great deal in order to go to God. However, because of calling him omnipresent, we couldn't find the path and we became Tamo Pradhan. So Baba says, so this is a study. A study cannot be called power. The Father says, first of all, become pure and then understand the knowledge of how the world cycle turns. The Father alone is knowledgeful. There is no question of power in that. Children do not know how the world cycle turns. You actors are playing your parts. This is an unlimited drama. So we children are playing our parts and this is an unlimited drama. Previously, when people used to perform their parts in a drama, the actors could be changed. However, now they make films. It is easy for the Father to explain using the example of a film. Those are little films and this is the big one. So Baba says in a play, that is the worldly drama, the actors can be changed. This drama is eternal and once something has been shot, it cannot be changed. So this is where Baba is explaining the difference between a play and a film. If something is captured on film, it cannot be easily changed. So Baba says this drama is eternal and once something has been shot, it cannot be changed. This whole world is an unlimited film. There is no question of power. Amba is called Shakti, but she still has a name. Why is she called Amba? What did she do when she was here? You now understand that Amba and Lakshmi are the highest on high. Amba then becomes Lakshmi. Only you children understand this. You become knowledgeful and you are also taught purity. So what do we become? We become knowledgeful and we are also taught purity. That purity continues for half a cycle. The Father then comes and shows you the path of purity. People call out to him at this time to come and show them the path and also to become the guide. So what do people call out to him for? People call out to him at this time to come and show them the path and also to become the guide. He is the Supreme Soul. Souls become supreme by studying with the Supreme. So what is Baba telling us here? Souls become supreme by studying with the Supreme. Someone who is pure is called supreme. You are now impure. The Father is ever pure. There is a difference. So we are now impure whereas the Father is ever pure. So Baba says there is a difference. Only when the one who is ever pure comes here does he give you your inheritance and teach you. So Baba has clarified that only when the one who is ever pure comes here and he gives you your inheritance and teaches you. He enters this one and he himself tells you that he is your father. So Shiv Baba himself enters Brahma Baba and he himself tells us that he is our father. I definitely need a chariot. Baba says, how else would the soul speak? The chariot is also well known. The lucky chariot is remembered. So Brahma Baba is the lucky chariot. So the lucky chariot is a human being. It is not a question of a horse chariot. A human chariot is needed so that he can sit in it and explain to human beings. So who is Baba talking about now? Baba is talking about Shiv Baba, that a human chariot is needed, meaning Shiv Baba requires Brahma Baba so that he can sit in it and explain to human beings. They have then shown a horse chariot, meaning in the path of devotion. This human being is called the lucky chariot. Here some animals are looked after so well. Even human beings are not cared for as much. Baba gives the example, people love their dogs so much. They even love horses and cows. They have dog exhibitions. Baba is emphasizing the word exhibitions. None of that would exist there, meaning in Satyug. Baba is asking us, would Lakshmi and Narayan look after dogs? You children now know that all human beings at this time have tamopradhan intellects and that they have to be made satopradhan. Their horses, etc., are not such that people would have to serve them. The father explains, look what your condition has become. Ravan has made your condition like that. He is your enemy. However, you don't know when this enemy takes birth. You don't know about the birth of Shiva or even about the birth of Ravan. The father tells you that Ravan comes at the end of the silver age and at the beginning of the copper age. So, it is only the father who tells us that Ravan comes at the end of the silver age and at the beginning of the copper age. Why has he been shown with 10 heads? Now that we have just crossed Dashera, Baba in today's Murli is asking us, why has he been shown with 10 heads? Why do people burn his effigy every year? No one knows that. You are now studying to change from human beings into deities. Those who don't study cannot become deities. They will then come when the kingdom of Ravan begins. So Baba has clarified that those who don't study cannot become deities. They will then come when the kingdom of Ravan begins. You now know that you belonged to the deity religion and that sapling is now being planted. So what do we children know? We know that we belonged to the deity religion and that sapling is now being planted. The father says, I come every 5,000 years and teach you in this way. At this time, the tree of the whole world has become old. When it was new, there was just the one deity religion and they then gradually came down. Baba says, when it was new, that is, when the world was new, that is, Satyug was there was just one deity religion and then they gradually came down. The father is telling you the account of 84 births because he is knowledgeful. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children and we the spiritual children also say namaste to our spiritual father. Today's essence for dharana has 2 points. The first point, accumulate the power of silence. Baba emphasizes the word silence. He says, accumulate the power of silence. You have to go to the world of silence with the power of silence. Take power by having remembrance of the Father and become a master. Free yourself from slavery. By studying with the Supreme, you souls become supreme. Only follow the path of purity, become pure and make others pure. Become a guide. So, the 2 points are, first point is accumulate the power of silence. Free yourself from slavery. Second point is, by studying with the Supreme, you souls become supreme. Baba says only follow the path of purity, become pure and make others pure. Become a guide. Today's blessing, may you be a special soul who has the knowledge of Alpha, that is God, and follows the original religion of purity. So, today's dharana as well as blessing has the aspect of purity. Let's hear the blessing once again. Baba says, may you be a special soul who has the knowledge of Alpha, that is God, and follows the original religion of purity. Baba explains, Bap Dada is pleased that each of his children is a special soul. Whether he is old, uneducated, infant, a youth, or a householder, compared to the world, he is special. So each of our souls are special. Baba says, in the world, those may be great politicians, actors and scientists, but if they do not know God, what do they know? Your intellect has faith, and you say with spiritual intoxication that they can continue searching, but that you have attained Him. So, despite being politicians, actors and scientists, Baba says if others, they do not know God, what do they know? our Brahmin children, that is, we Brahmin children, our intellect has faith, and you say with spiritual intoxication that they can continue searching, but you have attained him. Baba says, while living in your household, you have adopted the original religion of purity, and so you have become a pure soul, a special soul. Finally, the slogan for today: someone who remains constantly happy hearted is loved by himself and by everyone else. Slogan once again: someone who remains constantly happy hearted is loved by himself and by everyone else. अच्छा, ओम शांति।